Hi, I'm Elyce Monet. Welcome to my channel. I'm doing a lesson today on boundaries, and I'm going to take all of these lessons in parts because there's so much to say about every part in our lives. We're going to look at physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, mental boundaries, and spiritual boundaries. And these are all critical to our health and well-being. And I would like to just share from my heart. I'm not going to take notes or have any notes. Just tell you things that I've learned along my journey. And hopefully, if you relate, they can help you. Okay. I am constantly working on my boundaries. Why? Because number one, as a young girl, my physical boundaries were compromised. Okay. Yes, I went through molestation, and that triggered in my life many manifestations of that, where I felt that I had to serve men. Okay. So the first physical boundary that we're going to talk about is sex, because it's a big part of our lives and our society is very warped with it. So, first boundary, always know that you have the right to protect your body and to say no. That's your right. Now, I have been through rape cases. They are not fun. However, when it's all done, you know that you stood up for yourself. And that's really the most critical part. Okay. Um, sex can be deceiving for women, particularly because we equate sex with love. And while that is not true at all, sex is simply a part of our DNA that attracts other people to us. And believe it or not, we attract our own dysfunction. Isn't that fun? So if we know that we're attracting our own dysfunctions, so that we can work them out, we can look at relationships in a whole new way. Okay. And we won't be so quick to jump into the rack with somebody, and we won't be so quick to choose a guy. Okay. We'll take our time. And that's the first boundary is time. With sexual relationships, you're giving your most innermost heart. All right. Not just your body. And I've learned through spiritual studies that when you have sex with people, you're taking on all of their karma, all their entities, all their demons, all of that becomes entwined with you. And so it is clearable. Bad decisions with sex is can be cleared. And I have cleared that to a point where I feel very pure, and I'm happy about that. I had a big problem with lust in my life, and it's in my genetic code to clear for my ancestors and myself. And so I was on a journey for many years examining that part of my life. Let me tell you a story about lust. I was in a car one day, and as I was all hot and bothered with my ex-husband. We were in a studio, we were recording, and we started making out. And he said, "I'll meet you at the house." So I took off in my car to go to the house. And as I stopped at the stoplight, this car with these men came around the corner right up next to my car as they made the turn. And there was this really gross guy hanging out the window in the back seat. And he started doing that tongue thing. And, like, I don't know how they do it, where they go like this and they do the thing. It was gross. And it was all directed right at me. I mean, it was, definitely lust incarnate. right? And I was so creeped out when I got home that I told my husband, and he laughed. He thought it was hilarious. I didn't think it was hilarious because I knew it was a reflection of my state. Okay. So lust will show up if you are aware of where you are. Now, there's nothing wrong with lust in its purity. That's not the right word. There's nothing wrong with experimenting or playing with lust, and especially in a healthy marital relationship. You can play with lust. It's fun. It's okay. But when it's not, when it's part of who you are and you're meant to clear it and purify yourself, it can be devastating. And we have to recognize that the physical reality that we're living in is a complete reflection of our inner reality. So, what that was reflecting for me was this lust within me. Now, yeah, I was hot and bothered, so it showed up. But I went, oh my gosh, it's emanating out. I was emanating a frequency of lust. Oh my God, I didn't want to emanate that. So be careful because what's on the inside and what you're experiencing is magnified to the general public. Now, for my husband, that would be okay. But in this situation, it was not okay. It was radiating to the world, right? And I got to see a piece of myself that I didn't like. So rather than judge it, I simply said, ooh, this is something I have to work on. I don't want to have that. I'm here to clear that. And my genetics with gene keys helped me understand that because I came in with that gene key with that connotation about the shadow that I needed to clear was lust. And so I can help you with that if you want to know more about gene keys in your charts and your DNA. So, but back to the part of boundaries, okay? Know your own inner boundaries and don't be afraid to state them. So if your boundary is, I don't want to have sex with you, and some guy keeps pressuring you, say no. Say no and walk away. Get out of there because he'll probably keep pressuring you if he doesn't, put up and shut up in the next, like 2 or 3 times you tell him no. Then walk away, get out. Sex can lead to giving up ourselves. And as a woman, we are taught, I'm a very spiritual woman. So I was in church for many years. It was my educational process, like many of us go through. But it comes with judgments about sex because our society is very judgy. I'm here to tell you sex is healthy, sex is normal. If we didn't have sex, we wouldn't have kids. All of this is part of our growing process, but we need to look at it as a growth process. And we need to examine ourselves for what is right for me. What do I say yes to? What is healthy for me? What is not healthy for me? Okay. Now, with the physical reality that we're talking about now, the other thing is abuse and addiction. All right. Sex can cause addictive behavior. And I can say I probably experienced that in my younger life where I felt that was an expression of love for me because of my warped perception of love. And most of us do have a warped perception of love. We do think, that love is about giving yourself up. Well, it's not. I'm here to tell you, after many years of struggling with boundaries, I have learned not to give up myself unless it's healthy for me. Now, the addiction behavior I had to deal with that, I only felt loved if I had sex. Well, what about a relationship with no sex? Now, I had people that were close friends and brothers, right? And that was healthy without sex. But when it was somebody I really wanted to get close to and intimate with, the sex was like the first thing, right? I mean, you have to find out whether or not you're compatible sexually. Wrong. Because the sex and the sexual compatibility actually emanates from the heart. And so we're going to talk about that in the spiritual chapters that I do. The next thing is abuse. Okay. The physical abuse was crazy. And I've experienced that on many occasions. And I had to honor myself enough to walk away, to walk out, to leave marriages because of it. And I'm not proud of that, but I thought, in my heart of hearts, because of my damage as a young child, I thought I had to serve men. So if the guy is the Lord and Master, and the church in many ways reinforces that with women serve your husbands, I couldn't say no. And whatever he did had to be okay because it happened. All right. It's not okay. It's not okay for someone to hit you or touch you in a way that hurts you. And if you are experiencing that, call me. I'll help you. I'll help you through it. The other addictions that come with the physical manifestation are common ones, and we have more addictions than we actually that we actually recognize and become aware of. Overeating is an addiction. And overeating and not watching your health is a big problem. I mean, we're some of the most obese people in society. Well, I'm here to tell you that if it's a problem with overeating, that is an addiction. If it is a hormonal problem that you can't control, that's something else. I did go through both, where I had, emotional eating, and I would try and soothe the wound with food, with comfort food, right? Um, in my case, it wasn't desserts because I wasn't a sugar fanatic, but it was carbs. It was chips and all the crackers and all of that stuff. So take a look at that. Overeating can be an addiction, and addictions don't serve you. So you're giving your power away to something outside of you. Food. Mm-hmm. All right. That's the other addiction is taking everything everybody says as truth. And I'm still guilty of that. I'm very naive in that way, where a doctor will say, now I've learned it with doctors, I've learned differently with doctors, but there was a time in my life where a doctor would say, oh, well, it's this and you need to do this. What I've learned after, death and rebirth experiences is that I'm the one in charge of my body, not a doctor. A doctor gives me 15, maybe 20 minutes of his or her time and tries to tell me in that 15 to 20 minutes, by the symptoms that I'm describing, what's wrong with me, and gives me a pill, okay, or a prescription for something. It doesn't work that way. We don't heal through chemical pills, all right? Our body is electric. Our body has much more to do with our inner state than our chemical state. It's only like our chemical state is only like 30% of our makeup, of our physical makeup. So if you look at that, you begin to understand that the very biggest thing you can do to change your physical reality in all cases, whatever it is, overeating, taking everybody's word, abuse, sexuality, all of these addictions that we have that we're not even becoming aware of, the best thing you can do is go within yourself. Find the truth of who you are and listen to that higher voice. And that higher voice, that divine spark within you, will begin to tell you the truth of what you need to do. And it's not take a pill. That's not the answer. And it's not a doctor's opinion. That's just an opinion. It's not truth. I know many people, when they're given a cancer diagnosis, they instantly go to, I'm going to die. I might as well give up, on a subconscious level, not on a conscious level. But it's true. If you buy into the doctor telling you got 3 months, guess what? You're probably going to check out in 3 months. Don't buy into it. Do more investigation, do more research. Don't take everybody's word for everything. You are the one with the power. You are the one in charge. You are the one that heals yourself. Okay, that's all for today on the physical aspects of boundaries. And my next one, we're going to do the emotional boundaries, which those are huge. And we'll work on all of these for a lifetime. It's not a one-time fix. So you'll just start becoming aware of them. And now, if you like this video, subscribe to New Vibe TV. You can have a free account, and we also have paid accounts. And the paid account right now is $7.99, and you get everything in the network: movies, education, television, music, video, books, a little bit of everything. Okay, $7.99, and I locked that price in for 3 years. So if you want to help out in a movement toward unity and frequency for humanity, then subscribe to the premium content, which gives you everything in the network. Okay. Thank you so much. But in the very least, sign up for a free subscription. Thank you. I'm Elyce Monet. Thank you for listening.